The rolling fields of the Picardy region in northern France show little evidence of the Great War that once raged across this landscape. But near the village of Beaumont-Hamel, there are chilling reminders. Here, Newfoundland would lose an entire generation of men in a bloodbath that lasted less than 30 minutes. Later, in peacetime, Newfoundland purchased 20 acres of the old battlefield as a permanent shrine for their fallen young men. It's forever guarded by a huge bronze caribou, the emblem of the Royal Newfoundland Regiment.
People said, oh, I can just imagine what that was like. But no, you can't. You wouldn't have any idea unless you'd actually done it. You really wouldn't. The very idea that in these peaceful, quiet hills that you could actually imagine the carnage that went on here. No, none of us really can.
In 1916, Newfoundland was a British colony of 200,000 people. The world was at war, and thousands answered the call of the mother country. 1/3 of all the young men in Newfoundland would volunteer, including 18-year-old George Small.
He was nearly 6 foot tall, and he was a fisherman by trade in Morton's Harbour in Newfoundland, and he enlisted in 1915. He went to St. John's, and then a couple of months later got shipped over to Scotland.
There were many youngsters like George Small in the first training camp. 17-year-old Norman Coltus and his cousin William Knight signed up together in St. John's. At 23, Knight was more mature and quickly promoted to sergeant.
He had a strong sense of not wanting to obey orders. And I think this sort of, I don't know if that's a Newfoundland trait or not, but there was a, I can remember that he was in charge of a group of men, and 2 of the soldiers got in a fight. Now his job was to break up that fight, and the major demoted my great uncle because he never broke up this fight. And he said, well, the hell with it. He said, I'm not over here for stripes. I'm here to fight the Germans.
William Knight wasn't the only islander ready to fight. The colony's government needed 500 volunteers. By the end of the first week, enlistment stations were overwhelmed. By the end of a month, they had twice as many men as they needed.
They sort of left the care of their parents sort of sometimes under devious means just to get part of it, because they wouldn't want to tell their parents that they're going to enlist, and they went off and they're on the ship before the parents knew it.
And when they arrive at this recruitment office, you have to remember in those days a lot of people didn't know how old they were, didn't have a birth certificate, and the army form actually says apparent age on enlistment. And if you turned up and you said that you were 19, then you were in.
Bill Coultus climbs Signal Hill every day. He sits where tearful families once huddled to watch troop ships carry their sons away.
You sort of get a strong sense of can't wait to do battle with the Germans, and it was this sort of traditional enthusiasm and energy of young people all over the world of wanting to be in the middle of everything and wanting to be a part of this great adventure.
This rare film was the last taken of the exuberant Newfoundlanders before battle. It was also the last time most of them were seen alive.